Okay, hi guys, I'm back again, and I just left you, so how funny. I decided to stay. The neighbor has gotten off his lawnmower, so I'm hoping I can get through one more unboxing because it's so gorgeous out today. It's a little bit warm. I would rather have it a little bit less warm, but it's not bad. So if he's not going to do his lawn, hopefully I can get in one more unboxing, because I have to tell you, I went to, I checked my email at work yesterday, and they were having a 99-cent sale on all books at Savers. So my next video is going to be a book haul, because I went to Savers and I got like 18 books, I think, because they were all 99 cents, guys. And so I got a lot of children's books. So if that's not something you're interested in, you certainly don't have to watch that video, but I try to get children's books that are really good for pagan children. And for every child. But I really try to. My grandkids' shelf, which I don't have any grandkids, yes, I know it's ridiculous, is full of nature-based stuff about all different cultures. So I got a lot of children's books that are like that, and I added quite a bit to my collection this time, so I'm really excited to show you. And some adult books too that were very witchy or nature-based or that kind of thing. So, but first, then Barnes & Noble was right across the street, and I haven't been in Barnes & Noble's in quite a while, and ta-da! So I have to say, I'm really excited about this deck, more than I was before. I actually went to the tarot section, and this is not my normal Barnes & Noble. Usually I go to Pittsford, which is kind of right up the street. But Savers is in Webster, which is a little bit further away, and I don't usually go to Webster to Barnes & Noble's, but because I was at Savers and Barnes & Noble's really close, I went into this Barnes & Noble, and I like mine a lot better. But I went to their, I don't know what they call it. It's not supernatural, but their woo-woo section, and looked at the decks that they had, and nothing popped out of me. I looked at the books, and nothing. I was like, no, I'm not going to pay for any. I had a couple books in mind. One was the Green Witch book. I've been looking for that book. If they had had that, I would have gotten that book. I had a couple decks in mind that if they had, I have a couple mass market decks. Hey, buddy. That if they had that, I would have gotten that also. They didn't have either. And they didn't have this deck in with the tarot. So I was like, nope, you know what? I'm going to go. I figured because I've heard Halloween stuff is out, maybe I would go to Michael's, which is also close to that. And on my way out, there was a Game of Thrones section. And Game of Thrones is coming back in October, November. If you're a fan of the Game of Thrones, I have to say, this deck you're going to want this deck. If you're not a fan of the Game of Thrones television show, I don't think that you're going to get the archetypes. I just looked through this deck a little bit, and I'm right on because I'm a fan. But they had the tarot deck in with the Game of Thrones stuff. Like, they have all kinds of Game of Thrones stuff out right now. And they had the deck in with that, and I thought, okay, I think I'm gonna get it. At the time, I thought, all right, it's a Game of Thrones deck. It's a television show. It's probably not gonna be a great deck, but maybe I'll have it for just show because I like the show, and I'm really gonna use this deck. I can tell you right now, I'm gonna use this deck. So it comes in this awesome box, and it's a hard box, and then you flip it open. And the deck is on one side, and the little guidebook, which is a hardcover guidebook, is there. And they have, look at the little ribbons. You can pull on the little ribbons to get them out, so you don't have to dig in with your fingers to get them out. I love that. And all it says on the front of this is guidebook. And then it says on the side, it's like a little book. It's so cute. Game of Thrones Tarot Guidebook. The guidebook itself, it's like a book. It's 106 pages, and it is like a full-size book. It's hilarious. It's really funny to me. So, of course, HBO, and then it has a whole contents page. Then it has an introduction, and how to use this book and deck, preparing for a reading. It's got all kinds of, this is a great book. The guidebook is awesome. It has reading intuitively, reading reverse cards, then it has some spreads, past, present, and future. Then it said the Red Keep, Old Gods of the North. So it's got some awesome, like, Game of Thrones geared spreads. Faith of the Seven. Isn't that cool? If you are a fan, I have to say, this is a deck you're going to want. Because this is I drink and I know things. This is a deck for fans of tarot and fans of Game of Thrones. Spread of the Maesters. I'm so psyched I got this deck now. I can't even tell you. The Major Arcana. So then it goes into the Major Arcana. 22 Major Arcana cards numbered 0 to 21 show major events, turning points, and it has a bunch of information on each, which is absolutely stunning. So I thought, being a Game of Thrones deck, it would probably end up being a pip deck, right? Because they're not going to spend a whole lot of time on it. I don't know who they had do this deck, but it's not a pip deck. They actually put awesome images into each card. And yes, I have heard people say, there's so many different characters on Game of Thrones and they repeat characters a lot. That's true, but the characters that they repeat are right on. They're right on. So like they use, excuse me. All right. I have flies driving me crazy. They use the Mother of Dragons a lot. They use the Fool a couple times, the little person a lot. They use they use everyone a lot. But when they do that, it makes so much sense. If you're a fan of the show, the reason they did that is because it fits the situation a lot. Like really a lot. So I was really impressed that they did that, because I think the deck is going to be very, very usable. Okay, so first of all, I will tell you, I got the deck and the first thing I noticed was the back of the cards are awesome, but look at, I have this one card that is like peeling in a couple places already, up at the top and then the side here. So I may write to them and see if they can just give me one card. The rest of the cards seem okay. They're probably not going to be the most quality cards ever, but they feel like a linen feel. And oh, please tell me somebody isn't stopping for the bikes right now. My husband isn't home and I'm doing a video. We have bikes for sale out front. They're a linen finish. We'll see. Yes, they're getting out. God damn it. Hold on, guys. Okay, no sale today. So it's a linen finish. The cardstock itself feels okay. It's a little thin maybe, but to me, I would rather have it a little thin because I like to riffle shuffle. And I really kind of like the feel of the cards. I don't know. Now, they may be cheap because of that one thing. It makes me think they probably won't last a long time, so I don't know if I want to use them or not. Maybe if I get a backup copy and I just put the backup copy away. If I get a good coupon or something, maybe I'll do that. I'm really psyched about the images, though. So the Fool is the perfect person. The Magician. Again, they really chose, whoever did the deck itself knows tarot and knows Game of Thrones, because they really chose the Red Witch for the High Priestess. What a perfect combination. They chose the correct people for each archetype. The Empress, so there's Daenerys, Mother of Dragons. The Emperor, Jon Snow, who we all think that both of them are going to get together. So, you know, mother and father, what could be better? Look at the Hierophant. Yes! perfect choice. Perfect choice. The Lovers. Now, this is Jon Snow and his previous lover there, who I absolutely adore her. I wish that they hadn't killed her off. Spoiler alert, but if you don't know that, then you're not a fan anyway. Come on. The Chariot. Look at Dragon. Of course, it's one of the dragons. Strength. Of course, it had to be her. Who else is the epitome of strength? The Hermit. Of course. So, like I said, I'm sure other people have shown this. I'm going to at least go through some of them. The Wheel of Fortune. And look at it, has every family here represented. Just perfect. Perfect. Justice. The King. The Hanged Man. Perfect. Death. I loved this. I loved this. If you're a fan, you will know who she is. And of course she's Death. How... that is just the perfect. Temperance. He is so temperance. He is exactly what temperance is all about. Devil. Abso-freaking-lutely is he the devil. I mean, come on. The Tower. This one I want to look up a little bit because I'm like, what the hell? It looks familiar. Actually, let me look it up. Let's find out together what this is. Little flies getting at me. Hermit, Wheel of Fortune, Justice, the Hanged Man, Death, Temperance, the Devil, the Tower. Okay. So, when Bran Stark climbed the decrepit tower at Winterfell to see Jaime Lannister and his twin sister Cersei having relations, Jaime pushes Bran out, concluding, "The things I do for love." The tower represents a construct, the lie of Cersei's marriage to Robert Baratheon and the paternity of her children. Yet Jaime's cruel actions cannot protect their secret. The old Tower of Lies is already unstable. The Lannister-Baratheon power is about to crumble. In terror lore, the tower stands for downfall and the light of truth. Bran sees the truth of the siblings' relationship, which, if known, will bring about destruction. The card number 16 reduces to 8 the Chariot, the card of control. With the tower, we have no control over events. We suffer and see truth in the wreckage. Awesome. Absolutely awesome. See what I mean now? If you're a fan, that this is going to be the ultimate deck. This deck will read so well, I can't even take it. Look at who the star is. Up in the tower. Oh, just gorgeous. Just gorgeous. The moon in the castle there, the moon opening. Just, come on. How much better can this deck be? The star, or I mean the sun, out in the desert there. Judgment. Oh my God, the Ice King, of course. And then the World, which shows the whole map. This deck is awesome. Here's the Ace of Spears. Now, I'm not going to go through all the I shouldn't go through all the minors, but alright, maybe I will, because look at Daenerys looking at Dragon. The Three of Spears. Looking out. The 4. The 5. This deck could not be any more perfect. I mean, to me, this is such a great deck. Now, here's what I have to say. If you are just learning tarot, I think one of the easiest ways maybe to learn the tarot would be to watch this show first before you start trying to learn, and then get this deck, and you will get 90% of the meanings of tarot, because you will know what these archetypes mean because you've seen the show. And for me, that would have been such an easier way to learn than to try to learn 78 different meanings and practice a million times, which is what, you know, the rest of us normal people have to do. Look at the Queen of Spears. Of course, she's the queen. And then, I miss him so much. It would have been an incredibly easy way to learn the tarot is to watch the show. And then to get this deck, because you will get the meanings from what they portray, because they did such a fantastic job of picking each archetype and what they mean based on, that's Cersei. Ah, perfect. Based on what's going on in the scene. I think it's absolutely an incredibly intuitive deck that way. They just did it awesome. So I have to say, whoever they had write this deck was definitely a fan and definitely knew what they were doing. Because pretty much each card, look at that. Each card really, really portrays very well what the archetype of the meaning of the card is. So well. Oh, look at John. God, I love him. Here we go. Swords. This, just an incredible swords. Two of Swords. I love her. 3, 4, 5, 6. There are people I wish, like, I don't think I've seen Hodor. And I would have loved to have Hodor be strength, but I could see why they would do Brielle there. Brienne of Tarth. But I would have loved to see Hodor in the deck someplace, because, you know, he was such a great character. 9 of Swords, look at, ugh. 10 of Swords, look at Traitor. Page. Knight. Queen, of course, Cersei is the Queen of Swords. Of course. Could you have another Queen of Swords? And King of Swords, the Ice King himself. Ace of Coins. The 2 of Coins, I love this card. Look at, reminds me of a Marseille deck. But if you read around here, it says a Lannister always pays his debts. That's great. 3 of Coins. 4. 5. Look at her begging. 6. He's just awesome. 7. 8. Now think in your mind who you would have for the Queen of Coins, because when I saw it I thought, of course it's her. 9 of Coins. I just love Danny. 10 of Coins. Page of Coins. Of course he's got to be the page. Knight of Coins. There's Brienne again. Ready? Queen of Coins. This was perfect. Love her. Love, love, love her. And then the King. So I just am super, super impressed. I'm impressed with this deck. I am going to probably ask for that one card because it came damaged already. But I was super impressed. And I think a great way to learn the tarot, if you don't know the tarot already, would be to watch this series and then get this deck, because I totally see the archetypes in all of them. So yay! And now the lawnmower starts up and I'm done. Blessings. I'll be back again.